In the shadow of Ukraine's most daring drone strikes to date, Russian and Ukrainian officials gathered in Istanbul for their second round of direct talks in recent weeks. The meeting, once again chaired by Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan, brought together top military and intelligence officials from both sides. Despite growing tensions, the delegations exchanged written proposals and announced a major prisoner exchange.
On release of prisoners of war, we agreed to focus on specific categories rather than numbers. We agreed to exchange all for all, seriously wounded and seriously sick prisoners of war. Second category is young soldiers who are from 18 to 25 years old, all for all. Also, we agreed to return 6,000 to 6,000 bodies of fallen soldiers. Children. We have provided the other side with a list of several hundred Ukrainian children who were deported to Russia.
The Russian delegation acknowledged the return of the 6,000 bodies and confirmed the largest prisoner exchange so far. It also proposed a short ceasefire.
The last proposal that came from our side, since the Ukrainian side often talks about the necessity of a ceasefire all the time in quite general terms, we've proposed a concrete and genuine ceasefire for 2 to 3 days in certain areas of the front. This will now be worked out by our military specialists with the Ukrainian ones.
Turkish officials have praised the talks in Istanbul.
Burada yapacağınız görüşmeler bölgesel ve küresel açıdan
The discussions you will have here will be decisive regarding our common destiny, regionally and globally. The eyes of the world are focused on the communications and discussions you will have here.
Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan hailed the meeting as a success, saying he hopes to bring together the Russian and Ukrainian leaders soon, perhaps even alongside US President Donald Trump. But mistrust lingers. Russia denies abducting Ukrainian children, calling the claims a media stunt. It says children were rescued and that reunifications are underway. Speaking at a NATO conference in Lithuania, Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelenskyy warned against delays and called for stronger, coordinated international pressure. As both sides trade fire and demands, Turkey once again finds itself at the center of fragile diplomacy in Istanbul. But it's not clear yet if these talks can deliver progress and pause the fighting. Sinem, Al Jazeera, Istanbul.
Andrei Fedorov is a former Deputy Foreign Minister of Russia. He says it appears little progress was made with regards to a ceasefire in Ukraine.
Unfortunately, the result of the Istanbul talks is not very much successful because there was no talks in the understanding of this world. There was exchange of papers, and finally Russia gave to Ukraine its own vision, both of possible ceasefire as well as so-called long-term peace plan. Because it was done only today, the Ukrainian delegation had no chance to look at it in advance, though Ukrainians gave their own paper much earlier. So it was just exchange of opinions, and this important humanitarian issue as exchange of prisoners of war, but all the main political questions were left unanswered. Both papers are very contradictory to each other, and on the main points there are absolutely different approach, especially concerning unconditional immediate ceasefire. Russia doesn't want it, and this is the key problem, key barrier on the further talks as well. What we will have now, after Istanbul, maybe for 2-3 months, we will, 2-3 weeks, we'll have continuation of the war, more casualties, more problems, and there is no guarantee in the future that things will go on smoothly. And of course, the main thing now is the direction of Trump, how he will evaluate this meeting.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.